Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Bigger Picture. I'm Matthews Frank, and as always, here at The Bigger Picture, we're all about recognizing those organizations here on campus that you may have never heard of. Tonight is a big night. Tonight marks our semester grand finale. So before we jump into tonight's episode, let's give out a few shout outs to all the incredible organizations that have joined us throughout this journey. I'm gonna actually go from the top of the list and make my way down from all the orgs that has helped us out. So first up, let's give a shout out to 2.5, the Image Step team, Laker Poet Society, the Institute for Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, and Transformative Practice, the Hood Journals, the Asian Student Association, the African American Male Empowerment Network, Fashion at Oswego, the Women's Center, the Black Student Union, the Bold Black Beauties, Her Campus. A shout out to Gwen Boozer, Lisa Vaneski, Francisco Suarez, the Latino Student Union, of course, Dr. Emmanuel, the Golden Z Club, the Digital Music Association, the African Student Organization, last but not least, tonight's guest, the Kumi chapter, and a special shout out to our first ever digital exclusive interview, Sane Girl. Thank you all for making this show unforgettable. I appreciate you guys for coming on to The Bigger Picture. And you guys made the show what it is today. So again, I appreciate you guys, and you guys make what this show is today. So let's get to the sad news. I'm graduating this weekend. So, no more Bigger Picture for me, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean that the Bigger Picture will be done. We have people lined up who will take over the Bigger Picture and make it even better than what it is. And I'm super proud of them, and I know they're gonna do great things. As for me, I'm leaving Oswego. And it's bittersweet, but things happen. We have to move on, and I'm gonna do bigger things. I'm gonna do better things, and I'm excited. Not the Bigger Picture is the best thing ever, in my opinion, but I'm gonna do other things out in the real world. So for those watching at home, stay tuned. I might be on your TV screens. I might be doing this, but it with a major broadcasting network. So stay tuned. So we have a lot coming up in this episode, our first ever 1-hour exclusive episode. So when we return from break, we will take a look at the Bigger Picture's first ever digital exclusive interview that took place this past weekend. So don't go anywhere.
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTLP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTLP.
La 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 la.
Breathe.
La 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 la. La 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 la. Freeze.
Welcome back to The Bigger Picture, everybody. So before we begin with tonight's guests, let's discuss our first ever digital exclusive interview posted on The Bigger Picture's Instagram this past weekend. This weekend, we featured Naomi Ellis, who is also known as Sane Girl. She just released her album Serene on September 22nd, 2023. This album is all about embracing solitude. Sane Girl blends her unique and dreamy lyrics with soulful beats inspired by artists like Janae Akio and Erykah Badu. creating a soothing experience for her listeners. She personally mixed and mastered her album, capturing her own journey of self-discovery and self-love across 8 tracks. Her hope is that her audience connects and feels with the vibe of the meaningful messages embedded in her lyrics. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Bigger Picture's first ever digital exclusive interview.
Hey guys, I'm Sing Girl, and I made this album called Serene, so we're gonna talk about it. So, the inspiration behind Serene is more like for anyone who's, who has gone through like heartbreak or something like bad in their life recently or before, just like having that time for yourself to just like basically sink into yourself and like really get to know yourself, really get comfortable within yourself, and just like vibe out with yourself. Like at the end of the day, like we're all like in, for example, Ocean Waves, I talk about like how you're gonna like be by yourself in the end. So it's like this is you are your priority, and it's like that was the main goal and the point of the album. All right, so yeah, with the solitude, that's basically a theme that was recurrent within my album. Cause like I said, like it's more about prioritizing yourself, and I feel like solitude is like the perfect word to describe that and the vibe that I'm trying to give off. Like like sitting in your own thoughts and in your emotions, and just like accepting it and seeing how you can use it to like grow as a person and grow within yourself. So that's what the theme, and it just inspired my writing. I feel like Cleo Soul was definitely like a part of my inspiration for writing, like basically on my album, like the album. So and I like really tuned it down to like that one last song in the album called Solitude. So if you're really trying to get like in your solitude, that song's for you. Just being comfortable and being in your solitude. So I feel like a lot of the lyrics that I write like relate to like me personally, because of course like when you're writing a song, like I think most of these type of songs like soul music, R&B is like relatable. So especially the blues, like when I say the blues got her, like a lot, like basically that whole song is literally about just me realizing all the experiences that I've gone through, like even through high school, when, coming to America as an immigrant, like, having a lot of experiences that maybe some people might not experience, but a lot of people might experience, because, there's America is full of immigrants. So it's like all those like emotions and experiences I put into lyrics, and like they resonate with me a lot, because even in high school, one of my like I was a part of Girls Inc., like if you know, from the city. She would like, my advisor would say like, you're so like peaceful, like how do you like, even if you go through all these things, like how are you still like you know calm and collected, how are you able to do the things that you do, go through school and all. And it's like, because I have to remind myself, like it's like you have to like, I guess, prioritize your peace. So yeah, so I think most of, especially the blues, like all of that album was really just like putting everything together and into words. And that's like how I was able to like write my lyrics, try to rhyme it a little bit, try to have a little flow or melody. But that's kind of like how I encapsulated everything. People like Janae Aiko and Clea Soul are like my main inspirations, and sort of my favorite type of people. Like they just like sing about like soothing. It's just so soothing, so like authentic. Like they just like literally embalm like everything that I want to be as a singer and songwriter. Especially Janae Aiko's Magical Hour song. Like I feel like there's so much like zest to it. Like there's just so much energy, like you can just feel it, like how like even though she's like singing low and like I just feel it. So I feel like that's like my motivation to just make music like that, because it really is like touching, and it's like those are the songs that's gonna really hit you for real, for real. And it's like, for example, Cleo Soul's song, When I'm in Your Arms, or like Know That You Are Loved. Like these are songs that like are really just soul snatching in a way. Like it's like they don't even need to say a lot, but it's like you can feel, you can see and hear and just feel everything that that they're trying to portray. And it's like that's a lot of power right there. So like that's they're my inspirations for this album. Like, I definitely gravitated towards their vibe. Like, I feel like everyone should have that like space where they can just like vibe and like, you know, really tune into themselves, like, you know, really think about their life as a whole in this universe, like, you know, as a being. Like, literally, that's just the type of music that I really want to make, and that's kind of like my motivation for this album, Serene. I would say in the blues, I feel like I keep talking about the blues, but it's really, that's like one of my main songs that like I really say a lot. And for example, like the second verse where I'm like, silence is a reflection of your past, the things you could not say and everything you could not ask. I feel like that really was like just saying a lot without saying too much. Like, it's like you can tell what I'm trying to say. I'm saying like, oh, you're just grown to like be quiet, you're grown to shut up, you're grown to, oh, you can't speak back when not spoken to, or like things like that. So it's kind of like you're so used to being forced to not have a mind of your own and not say the things that you want to say. But I feel like in that song I'm saying everything that I wanted to say, and it's like the truth. Like, I feel like a lot of people, especially Caribbean people, or like, you know, people of color, like they just go through a lot of trauma, and it's just partly due to them, like, you know, the constant, you know, generational habits of, you know, treating your child a certain way because they were raised that way, or, you know, just certain things. So it's like, I feel like a part of like self-love is accepting that, you know, this is how I was raised, but it's also like you come to an age that you have to kind of force yourself to break out of it. Like, you have to tell yourself, okay, I'm not gonna keep doing this. I'm not gonna allow my parents or my siblings or my guardians to like keep me down, or like keep me from speaking up, or keep me from expressing myself. Like, you have to kind of elevate yourself, you know? So yeah, I think that was my lyrics, like my love lyrics. What I want people to take away from my music, per se, this album, is just being comfortable. As I said, like the whole time, like I've just been, you know, pushing, you know, self-care, self-love, just self-priority, you know, just prioritizing yourself, your happiness, and your own presence, like without people. I think it's very relatable to a lot of people, because at the end of the day, like everyone, even if you have siblings, you know, like there's still moments where you're like, oh, like you're by yourself and you're like, you know, feeling self-doubt, or you're feeling you know, self-destructive. You're feeling like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't like love myself, or I'm not going to treat myself like, because I feel like I failed in this or whatever. So I feel like everyone can relate to something, at least one thing, because I feel like it was very broad enough for people to like insert themselves into certain situations and certain feelings and emotions. And I feel like everyone is human beings, and we all have feelings and emotions. So regardless of where you're from, or who you are, or how you grew up, I feel like someone or everyone will like have that relatability, because it's kind of what connects us as people. And it's like, I hope that they take away the essentials that I try to ingrain in that album, and, you know, definitely take it with you for the rest of your life, because it's important. And never forget, you know, the message, just loving yourself, just, you know, even though you might go through more shit in the future, you know, should never like prevent you from doing what you want to do, or doing what makes you feel happy, or anything of that sort. So yeah, stay sane. And yeah, that was my Bigger Picture digital exclusive interview. Stay sane.
That was our first ever digital exclusive interview. Thank you again to Sane Girl for allowing us to interview her based on her new album, which is available on all streaming platforms now. But keep watching, because when we return, we'll have an incredible guest to join us on the season finale of The Bigger Picture. So stay tuned.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But
I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a closer to that one.
Matthew,
Broadcast news.
look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Welcome back to The Bigger Picture. Tonight, we are graced by the presence of the Kumi chapter of Mu Sigma Upsilon Sorority Incorporated. This organization was established on April 1st, 2012. This chapter embodies the core belief of unity, diversity, and unyielding dedication. A group of 10 remarkable women representing a spectrum of cultural backgrounds that include Dominican, Chinese, Puerto Rican, Jamaican, Panamanian, Costa Rican, African American, and Colombian, united with a singular vision. Their mission goes beyond celebrating the diverse tapestry within their sisterhood. It extends to embracing the eternity of the Oswego community. They stand not just as a collective, but as a formidable force of education, awareness, and advocacy through a vibrant array of programming, events, active participation, and community service. They weave their beliefs into everything they do here on campus and beyond. Every event, project, and helping hand they offer aids to the big picture of understanding togetherness and unity. Joining us today is the current president, Roxana Dolores.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to The Bigger Picture, Roxana. It's been anticipated. We wanted this episode for a while now. So you ready to kick off some questions?
Of course.
All right. So to start off, what motivated you to join the Kumi chapter of Mu Sigma Upsilon Sorority Incorporated?
Yes, so when I got to Oswego, I didn't really have a place I can say where I was completely understood. I was still finding myself, and so when I saw the Tenacious Kumi chapter, it was like an automatic bond. I connected with everyone so well, and to this day, our bond only grows stronger, and it was the best decision I ever made.
Okay. So how does having members from different backgrounds help your sorority teach others about what you guys are all about?
Yes, so basically, because we're from different backgrounds, we have different perspectives. Speaking for myself, I'm Dominican, so all I know is my Dominican perspective. But when I get around my other sisters, they have a different way of viewing things. And that kind of helps me decide whenever I'm stuck or I need help with anything on how to move forward.
Okay. So let's talk about your sorority and the events that they host. So first, can you talk about some past or future events Mu Sigma Upsilon Sorority has hosted?
Yes. So our most recent big event was our Week of Sophistication that happened the week of November 13th. Week of Sophistication is basically a week of different programs or community services embodying our 3 goals, which is academic excellence, unity among all women, and to be active in the university and community. So we did do a community service, and we also had a bowling activity night, and then we ended with our ladies' night. So those are a couple things that kind of tie into what we believe in and what we represent.
Okay, and can you walk me through how a typical community service would work for you guys? Like how do you guys start it? How do you guys connect with the organization you guys want to collaborate with? How does that work?
So it really depends. If I'm doing it here in Oswego, I reach out to everybody I want to collaborate with. I reached out to the YMCA, and I also reached out to the African Student Organization here on campus for a community service. And then if it's in New York City, which is where most of us are from, we kind of just find something that's really meaningful to us as a chapter and invite other sisters within our organization to come and participate.
So you did mention a bowling night. How does your bowling night work, and how, from your experience, how do you enjoy it? Is it fun? What goes on?
Yes, so with bowling, we kind of just have everybody come out. We title it Bowling with the Muse, and we get together, we order pizza, we order drinks, and we kind of just get to know each other, because that's what bonding activities are. At least that's how I plan to do things moving forward. And then we kind of just get together and get to know each other.
Okay, so you mentioned the city, and I want to touch base on New York City and how this work you guys do is not just Oswego based, but it continues even down to the city. So when you guys are in New York City, how do you guys bond within the organization itself, and how do you guys spread that into other people who are interested in joining?
Yeah, so I try to spend as much time with my chapter as much as I can. I know that we're very spread out and we all have different lives and we're in different phases of our lives, so it's kind of hard for us to get together. But when we do, it's always so meaningful. We just celebrated together our Founders Day dinner, and our chapter came together. We had sushi, and it was very meaningful.
Yeah. Do you like sushi?
I love sushi.
I'm not a fan of sushi. I don't know. Sushi's just
You're missing out.
So let's talk about more of the membership in your organization and how that works. So how does your members work together to respect each other's cultures and make sure everyone feels included? Because the list that I ran through in the beginning, that's a really diverse list.
Yes.
A really diverse list. So how do you guys work together, make sure everybody's included, everybody feels safe?
Yes, so I always try to show the cultures that we have within our chapter. One of my closest chapter sisters, her name is Oleksandra Narytnik. She is Ukrainian and Russian. She's always telling me about the stories she has when she was a little girl growing up in Ukraine. So I know how meaningful it is to her, and anything that's important to my sisters is important to me. So I always try to incorporate cultures like that. Like within our fundraiser, we will fundraise cultural foods that are different than my own, and also just trying to rotate it so that we're all seen, because all of our cultures is important.
Wow. All right, cool.
Yes.
So before we dive into our next questions, let's take a quick break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more insights from the Kumi chapter.
La 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 la.
Breathe.
La 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 la. La 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 la. Freeze.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
And it could be your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and waited. They mix with oxygen and nitrogen and become briefly.
Welcome back from break, everyone. So, Roxana, a few more questions I have for you.
Of course.
How does your sorority use its diversity to solve problems and make things better when it comes to the Oswego campus and when it goes to like the broader community of like New York City per se?
Can you rephrase that?
So, let's say there's a situation on campus where someone's interested in Greek life, but they want to tie into something more that connects more to them, a sorority that speaks to them. How do you guys rally up people to hear more about what the Kumi chapter is all about when it comes to the Oswego community?
Yes. So what we try to do is show our best selves. We're always putting ourselves out there, which is why I'm always trying to support everyone just because I want to get out there. And so I always try to have a welcoming face. Sometimes it's kind of hard, you know, but like I smile and I'm super welcoming, so I always do that. And if anybody has any questions, they literally can come up to me and ask me whatever. I'm open to answering all questions, and that's all I try to do. I try to showcase who we are because this is what we do, and we accept anybody who loves us just as much as we love our chapter.
So a side question I would have for you is, I know I've seen it myself, you guys table here on campus to spread the word about what your sorority is. Now, how would a tabling work, let's say in the city, when you guys are around other new people and stuff that are interested in joining? How would that work?
Yeah, so tabling in the city in terms of Kumi?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that doesn't exist in the city just because all of our alumni graduated. But we do have a chapter in the city, and they do their tabling just like we do at the same time like we do, and that's all it is. It's just tabling.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So tell us about a project your sorority did to help the community, and what was the response from the community that you guys got back? So this could be a community service event, it could be just a regular event you guys was hosting, it could be one of your bonding nights, whether it was the bowling or something like that. What event you guys hosted that really made an impact on what you guys are all about?
Yes, so this was one of my favorite community services. That's what I'm going to speak about. This past summer, and we cleaned up an entire park. My line sisters, as well as my pro-fight, Kiara Montero, she came out and we cleaned up the entire park. It was really hard to clean up the park, like extremely hard, but we stood there for hours, and by the time we were done, the park looked completely brand new. And it made me feel good just because seeing the impact happen right in front of you pushes me to want to do more.
Okay, so I have a question to ask you. This comes from who you just mentioned, Kiara. So the Kumi chapter does saluting. If you would like to just dive more into what saluting is all about and why is it so important that you guys do salute?
Yeah, so something unique to us is that we do salute to our sisters from different backgrounds in their languages. We do this to pay respects and to pay homage to our sisters who come before us. And one of my favorite examples is of my chapter sister, Alexandra Naritnik. Saluting to her in Ukrainian and Russian was so heartfelt. It meant so much to her just because I was one of the first ones to do it. And it just shows the impact and the respect that we have for one another, that we're willing to learn their language and learn it correctly to salute to them in that language.
So me, myself, I have been to a couple events where I've seen you salute, and it's really impressive. I'm not gonna lie, it's super impressive. So I give kudos to you for taking the time to do that and respecting everyone else's culture because that is very important.
Yes, thank you.
So Roxana, share a story about how the Kumi chapter working together as a sisterhood made a big impact in either someone else's life, your life, or the community in general.
Yes, so this was right after I joined my organization. They were able to come together, first up to Oswego, and my chapter sisters are well within their adult life, so they have jobs to attend to, they have other responsibilities to do, and they came up to support me, and it kind of just showed how much my chapter really goes hard for their own, and the fact that they were even able to come up, set time aside to support me meant the world to me.
Awesome, awesome. So we are now winding down to this first half of the bigger picture, but we're not gonna end right here. Roxana, final question.
Yes.
For anybody watching right now and is interested in learning more about Mu Sigma Epsilon Sorority Incorporated and they want to get involved, what piece of advice would you share from your experiences being in it so far to them to get them possibly interested in joining?
Okay, so I have two. Bring your most authentic self forward and be intentional with everything moving forward. I know that with myself, I wanted to find someone who loved me for me, and that's exactly what came with my chapter, because that's what we want. And to be intentional means to take advantage of every opportunity given to you. I know that with my professionalism, it grew so much just joining my organization because of the responsibilities that I had to deal with. So that in general just kind of just take that with you and make the best of it.
I like that, I like that. So thank you so much to the Kumi chapter of Mu Sigma Epsilon Sorority Incorporated for the valuable insights you shared tonight on this episode of The Bigger Picture. Your dedication to our campus is truly incredible, and the diversity and embracing that diversity is amazing, and we need more of that on campus, so we thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Don't go anywhere, because when we come back from break, we'll be joined by the one, the only, the Image Step team. So stick around.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
Welcome back to The Bigger Picture. Our second guest of tonight's episode is the SUNY Oswego Image Step Team, where rhythmic beats, synchronized movements, and diverse cultures converge to create an electrifying experience. As a co-ed organization, their mission transcends boundaries, uniting individuals from various backgrounds through the captivating art of step. At their core, they believe in the power of STEP as a medium for self-expression, allowing each member to showcase their unique identity while collectively celebrating unity, diversity, and the pulse of their collective rhythm. Joining us tonight is Vice President Keon and President Sierra. Welcome to the Bigger Picture, y'all.
Thank you for having us.
No problem, no problem. So, let's jump right into the question. So first up, can you share a bit about the origins of the Image STEP team and why you guys decided to join the team?
Okay, so a little bit about the origins. It was founded in 2011. They used to do like competitions and all that stuff. And then it things kind of fizzled out a little bit when COVID happened. I can't speak too much about that because I got here after COVID, but I do know that, with COVID, there was a lot of turmoil and the team went away for a little bit, but then we came back. I think it was after a year of the team being active again. I had decided to join the team because a graduated member, her name is Astrid, she was also on Black Student Union, which I was a committee member for at the time. She convinced me to join. And I had stepped in the past before, so I decided to try it out again, and yeah.
Okay, Keon, can you share a little bit about why you joined the team?
So I saw Image at the Environment Fair of my sophomore year of spring, and I honestly had no intention. I know two of my now friends, Jazz and Tia, stopped me, and they was talking to me about Image, so I was like, they seem cool, so I signed the sheet, but I had no intentions. But my close friend now, Asia, she like kind of pressured me to go try out, and I was like, okay, like let's see what this is about. So I went and I tried out, and tryouts, child, I was an emotional, I was an emotional mess. But I walked into tryouts thinking I was not about to make this team, and I went home and I had an emotional moment with my mom. But then I got the email like, "You want to Image STEP team?" I was like, it was amazing.
So, before we jump into more questions, I'm very curious about you guys' nicknames. I know you guys recently just held a ceremony, which I know all about it, and I love your ceremony. So, my question to you guys is, how do you guys come up with the nicknames, and how do you guys do, just talk to me about that ceremony. I love that ceremony.
So, this recent ceremony, since we're now the president and VP, it was a lot. We have our e-board meetings on FaceTime. So basically it was a huge argument. Like we go back, we take these names very seriously because when you're on the team and you get a name, like you're locked in. Like we have a saying where it's like Image is family. And so once you get a nickname, you are a part of our family. So we take these names very seriously. We want your names to reflect you as a person, as a stepper. And so we go back and forth, but it's a good thing because we really care about the name that we give to our family members. But
okay, can you guys do me a favor and share you guys' nicknames as well as your favorite nicknames so far from other people?
Well, my nickname is on the back of my shirt. It's Lightning.
Lightning, okay. Keon?
Mine's is Shades.
Shades, okay. I like the shirts too. The shirts is fire.
Thank you.
Can we get some examples of other names from other people on the team?
Other names, we have Mayhem, we have Blossom, we have Cherry, we have Aqua,
we got
Dynamite,
Mr. Fabulous, Blade.
Okay.
And usually like we just get nicknames to describe personality and stepping styles. Like if, like for example, my friend Andrews, his name is Mr. Fabulous because he's fashionable. Josh, his name is Blade because he's sharp when he steps. So it's about personality, but also a mixture of stepping styles too.
Okay, cool. All right. So my next question for you guys is that you guys are busy throughout the semester. Y'all perform at every multicultural events, dinner. I see y'all performing, so y'all are busy. So how does the team incorporate those elements into your performances? So let's say you guys were performing for LSU. How do you guys incorporate the Latino heritage into your stepping?
Well, what we try to do is we reach out, or we ask the organizations to reach out to us about the theme, the color scheme, and things like that. So I know in the past, like for an ASL performance, we wore like an African cloth, like to pay homage to their theme. Also with our scripts, to go with like the theme of the dinner, we try to make our script go along with that and like give reference to the organization and the theme that they're doing for that night.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically like trying to be respectful of like and appreciate the culture or heritage of the organization that we're there to perform for.
Basically what Sierra said, like, we always want to incorporate whatever culture that we're performing for, like, or even like event, like for Walk of Shame, our first ever performance of the semester was the sexual assault awareness walk. We started the script listing statistics about sexual assault, and then we even have a whole step that says like no means no, like emphasizing the importance of saying no, like, and how consent works and stuff like that. So we try our very best to incorporate the themes, incorporate the culture, the colors, scenery, everything to fit the performance.
Okay, sounds good. So my next question for Image would be, how does the Image Step team engage with the Oswego community or the Oswego campus, and how does the campus involvement play into your team's missions and activities? So by this question, I'm talking specifically about, I know you guys ran a thing where if anybody's seen an Image Stepper, you guys make them salute. So how does that play into what Image is all about and the engagement between the campus and the team?
Well, when we're always trying to find more members, so doing things like that, like I feel like it helps get our team out there and it helps us find new members. Also, just because like it's fun, you know, like being on the team is like, it's fun, but it also comes with its own challenges. So being able to do things like that, as well as like going to other organizations and supporting them, like, you know, it's fun. Like,
like, and also one thing about Image, you say one of us, you say all of us. Like, that's it. We are always like everywhere, and we always try to support orgs as much as possible. Like during bake sales, we will like go stop at tables, we will buy their baked goods, we will support, we will pop out to programs, pop out to dinners, pop out to events, only just to show support, because like we're all about supporting the orgs. Like especially since the org community is just like the black community in general in this school is very like small, very tight knit, so we try to support as much as possible so we can get the support back as well.
Okay, so one thing I want to talk about is specifically last semester, if I'm correct, in the month of April, the ending of April, you guys had your Stomp the Oz show. A big congratulations to you guys. That was a great event.
Thank you.
So let's talk about that day. How do you guys feel going from, you know, waking up to getting ready to practicing? You guys was in the hockey arena. That was in a bigger platform. So how did that day feel for you guys?
For me, I felt really emotional that day because I had already knew that I was going to be president for like some time, and I helped like plan some of it, and then like to see it come alive, to see our team put in all that work to make it happen. Like, I don't know, going into the arena, it felt like, oh, this is so official. Like, we really did it. We really made it, because the step show was another thing that fizzled out after COVID, and it came back. And it felt like, okay, we're on the team now, and we're the ones who are like helping bring it back. So we have to make it right. We have to pay respects to people who were on the team before who did it. You know, we had to do our big one, and we did.
Heavy on, we did. Child, I was ready. Like, I was ready. Like, I knew I was gonna be VP for some time now, and I was just very proud of everybody. Like, me teaching, I especially taught majority of the steps and transitions for the showcase alongside Josh. So we was just like ready to go. I was ready to get up there, show people what Image is about, and show why I'm about to be VP, why we're about to run the organization, and how, you know, like what we're about. Like, especially since that was our first annual showcase coming back after COVID, it was a lot of pressure. Like a lot, even old steppers from the past came to see us. So we was like, okay, we need to show out, because they're looking at us like, Image before was very like sharp, very tough knit. So they're looking at us with expectation, and I feel like we used to see that expectation 1,000%. Like, that showcase, amazing, top tier.
Yeah, I remember my freshman year, I went to the show you guys had, and I remember it was the Clovers versus, I forgot the other team, but it was like a replicate and Bring It On, and it was fire, it was fire. So adding on to that question, can you guys describe a memorable performance or an event that truly showcased what Image is all about? So that could be the Stomp the Oz performance, or it could be a performance at any dinners or events. Which dinner for you guys, which performance for you guys was like that one that you guys will always remember?
The one that I will always remember is my first ever performance on the team. like spring semester, right after you get on the team, you do a performance. What is it, the next week?
Yeah.
So it was so scary. It was like, girl, I just got on the team. Like, I just learned these steps and I had to go out and perform it. On top of that, it was for BSU, like the org that I was on. So it was like, okay, this is extra tough. But I did it. And like, I'm not really a shy person, but like sometimes I can be. And so, I don't know, that helped me come out of my shell more, like be more open to things like that. And yeah.
My favorite performance and most memorable performance is Walk of Shame this year. Okay. Our first ever performance, because I had a ton of pressure on my shoulder because like we had people like I guess trying to like doubting us in a way, like, oh, the new E-boy, like I guess ain't gonna be able to hold Image down, you know? So I guess I put a lot of pressure on myself to like take steps and make sure, especially since we had new members coming into the team, so we had to make sure that they know what they're doing and they know like they feel comfortable, but also make sure me and my board like, okay, like how is the performance going to be planned out, and just like executing everything. Like we was outside of, was it Oneida? Outside Oneida practicing 2-3 hours, making sure it's like running through the script. You had 2-minute breaks. We coming back to the script, like making sure it was a perfect performance. And like at the end of that performance, like my friends know, I put a lot of pressure on myself. So at the end of that performance, I was like bawling in my house because we really did that. Like we really, I showed why I was VP. Sierra showed why she's president. We showed why we really on this team, why we got to run it for the semester and for the year. Like.
I like that. All right, so before we dive into our final questions, let's take a quick break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for more insights with the Image Step team.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that black.
Look at the bling. Look at do we got a diamond tester on?
Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep. 10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
Score going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. But I need that back. No. Kevin!
Welcome back from break, everybody. We're just gonna dive right back into these questions because this conversation right now is going amazing. So, my next question for you guys is, how does Image blend the unique styles of the team members while staying in sync when it comes to big performances you guys have?
Well, as far as the unique styles, I think that's kind of like the point of Image a little bit. Like, we pride ourselves on being very diverse and inclusive. And like, if you really sat in a room with all of Image, like not just people that you know from Image, but like the quiet members, the members that you don't see everywhere, like you would see that we're all different people. It's kind of like a puzzle. Like each piece is different, but we all fit together. So And then as for how we come together for performances, I mean, it just works. Like I said, we're like a puzzle. Like, even though we're all different, we balance each other out very well. Like I said, we have some quiet ones, and then we have some rowdier ones who, like, when you put them together, it seems like a very unlikely match. But the team, we get along very well, so.
Okay.
Yes, like, in terms of unique styles, we all step different. Like, nobody steps the same. Like, it may look like we step in the same, but if you was to zoom in on everybody stepping, you would see different grits. You would see different, like, swags. Like, you know, like, when I step, I like to move my body. Like, I like to, you know, some people, like, I know people like to, like, be very sharp with it. Like, so we all step very different, and that what makes the performance worth watching. Like, you don't want to see people just stepping the same. Like, that's boring, that's whack. So, like, everyone just, like, steps different. And then, like Sierra said, like, we are all different, but that what makes it fun. Like, Image is crazy, Image is fun, Image is, like, it's a home. Like, it makes me feel comfortable. Like, I honestly, truly love Image. And it also breaks people out their shell, too. Like, some people will come in quiet, like me. Like, I came in very quiet, very reserved, but seeing people understand me and enjoy me for being me, it made me want to just break out, and especially like our bonding nights and our big and little pairs, when we just pair people up that you may not think works, but in the end, like, they get to know each other pretty much like Sarah says, the puzzle, and it just all works.
Like that. All right. So a performance is nerve-wracking, I can imagine. So how does the team prepare for these types of performances, whether it be a physical preparation like stretching or anything like that, or mentally? Like, do you guys pray, meditate, whatever the case may be when it comes to a performance?
Honestly, we do a lot. Performances for us, we like it to be perfect. Like, we have a reputation to uphold. Like, we hate being, like, out of order. So for performances, we have a whole performance week where we practice every single day for that performance week, and we practice on the performance day, like a couple of hours before the performance happens. So during performance week, we have, or like before performance weeks, we have cuts. So like, if you think you're comfortable on the team, don't think that. Like, if you're not showing up completely, if you're not giving your all, if you're not showing that you're passionate about stepping, then you don't have to be in the performance, and you'll be cut, and that's that, until you want to show us that you really care about performing. And then once cuts are over, the people who are in the performance practice every single day, and if we need to extend it like another hour, we will do that, because we like everything to be uniform and perfect. Of course, mistakes happen, and that's one of the things that we laugh about after the performance happens. But yeah, we do that, and then as for mental, after the performances, we do like a recap, like I said. We talk about it, things we can change, things that we can build on. And before performances, I don't know what you would call it, but like, we put our hands in a circle, and we do pray. Like we also pray, and then we put our hands in a circle, and we say I-M-A-G-E. And yeah, it's just a team building thing to bring us all together before we get on stage.
Okay. Keon,
like, I'm a perfectionist. I need everything to be perfect. Walking into performance, like, in the performance, mistakes do happen, like Sierra said, but prior to the performance, everything needs to be like A1 perfect. So I'm very hard on everybody, and like, it all comes out of love. Like, it all comes out of, I want everything to just, we know what we can do, what we can bring to the table, so let's do it. Let's pop out, let's show people what Image is about. Like, Image is always last to perform for a reason. Like, we always wanna shake the crowd up, make the crowd hype. Like, for example, during Women's Center, when we was doing one of our steps named Faded, and we was doing I chant, like, we are that I am a like that chant. The crowd got hype for like, no, because Image is in the building. So I'm very hard on everybody, but it's all out of love. And then mentally, now I don't really do too much because I know my abilities, I know what I came to do, but I also came a long way. Like, when I first joined Image, I didn't know how to step. I didn't know what stepping was. I was stiff. So before, I used to step in the shower, step outside, step in class, step everywhere I can. to make sure the steps are locked in my brain. And then I would just pray, like, give myself words of wisdom. Like, I listen to Nicki Minaj a lot, so I would just recite her quotes in my head and just pump myself up. Like, I'm gonna do this, I got this.
Okay, I like that. So my final question for the Image Step team is kind of a fun question. If you could create a step routine based on any TV show, any movie, any song you could think of, it could be like a Disney, a Nickelodeon, whatever song or beat you could think of, what show would that be? What movie would that be to create a step to?
Any movie or TV show?
Yeah.
Probably like Camp Rock, like, but like the idea of Camp Rock, how it was like a camp for like musicians or whatever. It could be like a camp for steppers.
Yeah,
if that
I like
makes
that.
sense.
Have you seen Camp Rock #2? They did a little step.
Yeah.
They did a little bit of that. Kia?
I don't know, like, movie? I think Bring It On. We do have a step named Bring It On too, so I think Bring It On. But in terms of like songs, Pink Friday Girls from Nicki Minaj from Pink Friday 2, stream that. But like that song is very like a beat. It's sampled from Girls Just Wanna Have Fun. So I feel like that beat will work amazingly like in a step. Like, yeah.
I would have to say real quick, my favorite Image step, I think it's called Cleopatra. Just because I like how like it's just, I like that. It's smooth. I like that. So we would like to thank the Image Step team for joining us here tonight on the Bigger Picture season finale. Your amazing performances show unity and talent, and we appreciate you guys for sharing your culture and skills. So keep on sharing that as a symbol of creativity and togetherness through STEP. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. So now here comes the time where, we're going to wrap up our season finale of the Bigger Picture. So real quick, from me to everybody at home, to all the viewers, thank you for sticking with the Bigger Picture. We've been filming the Bigger Picture since March 2020, and it's been an incredible journey from then to now. My piece of advice to anybody would be, if you got a dream, go chase it, start your own thing, and don't let anything hold you back. If you are watching the Bigger Picture tonight and you like, hey, let me do this, do it. I best believe you will get this and you will make one of the best shows there is to possibly have. Before we close out tonight's episode, I'd like to send out huge thanks to everybody who's helped make this show possible. This list includes people like Alex Brooks, Garrett Chan, Mia Dirks, Jill Plante, Michael Griswold, Jolie Santiago, Melinda Brancato, my co-host, of course, Kiara Montero, and of course, a shout out to what could be the future of the Bigger Picture with Jaden Jiggets and Kayla. You guys are very appreciated. And I'm just very thankful for everybody who has helped make this show what it is today. Hosting this show has been a pleasure, and I hope that I was able to bring something to the SUNY Oswego community, and I hope that I was able to bring more awareness to the organization the school has to offer. If you yourself want to join one of these orgs, whether it's the Image Step team, any of the Alana orgs, the umbrella orgs like Amen, BBB, Women's Center 2.5, please go do it. I've interviewed all of them. You can hear insights from all of these orgs by looking back at our YouTube videos. Thank you guys for all coming to the Bigger Picture and watching. It means so much to me from the bottom of my heart. As always, we close out the Bigger Picture by saying, remember to do everything you do in life through the Bigger Picture. That's Matthews Frank signing off. See you guys in the future.